Let's get started. So what we do is take our bottle and, just kind of inspect it and see what, what you could possibly do with it. This, I looked at the bottom and I like the ridges and I like the little circles that's around the bottle also. So you take a knife or some scissors, you make a hole and just go around. This is what I did, just going around. Okay, and then just went down the side, and as you can see, I have three of the little rings. That's where they came from. So if you kind of make the first one a rough cut, you can go in and trim it out. But if it's just too messy, you can always go down the line. Sorry. I didn't realize it was out of view. And just cut around. And then determine how big you want your pieces. This will probably make two. It depends on how long you want your earrings. Just twist it and get an idea. This is already made. I can use this to measure. And then just cut. So I've done that already. And now we have this piece. So just trim it up, clean the edges up really well. Try and make it as even as you can. And don't worry about the little dents that you put in, they come out. And if they don't, it's just more art. Art is never perfect. Okay, so I'm going to get the paints ready and I'll be right back to show you the next move. But before I do that, I'll just take like a paper towel and clean the inside to get out any fingerprints that I might have put during the cutting. So hold on tight. Okay, as I was saying, just take a piece of towel, paper towel or tissue, and just clean up the inside. And I'm starting out with some acrylic paint. I'm using black. Now I'm just going to pour some in this cap for now. More than I need. And I'm going to take the back of a paintbrush to make my dots. And I have about 5 dots on my earring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can wait for this first part to dry if you need to, just to be careful, but if not, then go ahead and do the second side if you're really confident. And they don't have to align perfectly with the other ones that you just put on there. I know I'm going to do a translucent pair, put some dots or designs on another pair, and maybe using really cute pastels or some fluorescent colors. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is just leave that to dry. So cute. And I'll come back and show my next step. Okay, so I'm back and my dots have dried. And on to the next step, which will be to put black paint here in the center. And I'm going to use my flat brush. So let's just get started with that. I'm back and my dots have dried. And what I'm going to do now is put black right in the middle. You don't have to do yours this way, whatever design you want. So I'm just going to take my flat brush and go right down the center. And it's going to take several coats, maybe I think 4 to 5. And I'm using acrylic paint. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but it is acrylic paint. Okay. So I'll let that first coat dry. Then I'll come in with a second coat. And what I'll do is when I get to the very last coat, I'll let you guys see that. So hang tight. Okay, I'm back, guys. I've added about 4, maybe 5 coats of black in the middle. So I'm just going to add one more final coat. And then it does not have to be perfect, like I said before. Don't worry about if you go outside the line. That's fine. Okay. So now we'll just let that dry and we'll go on to the next step. So now that our black has completely dried, I'm going to go ahead and start on the sides with the dots with my white. Kind of wipe that up. And you see how it's starting to show through? Whatever you want to put in the front to be the very front of your earring, that's the color you put down first. Like I put down the black dots, and I wanted the white in the background, so I put the dots down and then went in with the white. Alright, and then do the other side the same way. We'll need to touch up right here. And take your time. I'm just rushing through it so you guys can see how I did it. And so again, just like the black, I had to go in with like maybe 5 or 6 coats. That's what I'll do with my white. So kind of reminds you of a ladybug. Getting another idea here. But yeah, that's the idea. So I'll let this dry, come back in and do about 2 or 3 more coats, and then I come in and put my final coat on video so you guys can see that, and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright, see you soon. Okay, so now for the final coat. Okay. And now you can see how opaque it is. I'm going to let this dry and we'll go on to the next step. Okay, we're back now. This is completely dried, and on to the next step. So what we'll do is take our paintbrush and use the back again, dip it into the paint to make our dots. Because it's a twisting style, you want to have decorations on both sides. So just go in with more dots. And I'm going to use 5 on this side as well. You have to be really careful not to smudge your first dots. Okay, I'm sorry, but my camera died again. So I was interrupted, and what I did was just put the last couple of spots on the inside. The next step is to take some kind of gloss. You can either use like clear nail polish, or I have triple thick also. You can also use a clear spray lacquer varnish type thing. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the nail polish. Okay, so let's just do that. And just brush it on like you did the paint. But since it's going over everything, you don't have to be careful. You can just put in big globs and go in there and finish it right on up. Turn it around this way. You just do that and put that, put the lacquer on top. Let it dry, and that's what I'm going to do now, and then come back and show you guys the finishing steps. Okay, so now our earring is completely dry. We can move on to the next step. So I'm looking at the one that I have made already, and I can roll it to where it's going in the same direction, but I don't want it to be that way because I'm wearing it on opposite ears. So I want it to come in here. I have determined that this part will be my top, so I'm going this way. And I'm going to use the top of this nail polish container to mold my bottom part. And I'm just going to take a piece of tape and tape it here. So what I'm going to do now is just use my blow dryer to help create a mold, a shape. That's what I'm looking for, the word I'm looking for. I'm adding shape to my earring. So I put my blow dryer on medium heat, and I'm going to hold it far enough back to where it won't melt my plastic, but it will just make it hot. So be careful while doing this part. And so when it cools down, it'll have the shape that I want. Okay, so I'm just going to let that sit there and cool down for a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, I just touched it to find out, was it cool? And it's cooled down enough to where I can take my tape off to see how my shape is doing. And if it's not really where I want it, I can go in and do the same thing over. But you can see here how it's taking shape now and get an idea of what I need to do. So the next part is to mold the top. And I'm going to have to use something smaller, so I think I'll go with a marker. I'm using just a regular Sharpie marker. And when you're doing yours, you don't have to use a marker. You can use a pencil. If you want it tighter, you can use a pen, whatever you want, it's up to you. I'm just going to take the top part and press down to try and give it a little shape. Take another piece of tape. To hold it in place, to hold the shape, and then use my blow dryer to give it heat. Okay, same thing here. Let this cool down. Let's take the tape off and see what we have here. Okay. Okay. Move that to the side, and there we have our second earring. And I think I want to tighten this up some more, but let's see. We have opposites now. And so what I'll do to tighten this up later, I'll just go ahead and rewrap this and heat it just a little bit more. On to the next step. We are going to take a pair of scissors. And so this is our front or back, but we want this point to be a little bit more defined, so we'll just go down a little bit, just take a little bit of the edge off here. Okay, so now we have our center, and now we can go ahead and take our needle tool or a safety pin, get a flat surface, something that's a little porous so you can apply pressure. Okay, I had the pan down a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. This is the top, and we don't want to put our hole too close to the top because of plastic. It will break if you put it right there at the edge. So you want to go down some and just apply pressure. And it's running away, but here you can just take the top and just push it through just a little to give it a little bit more space. Okay, so now that we have a hole for our earring, we can go ahead and take our jump ring, open it, put it through the hole, and be careful not to split the hole, and take your ear wire, and since this is the front, you want to try and put that towards the back. You probably may need to manipulate it. Okay, and there you have your earring. Super easy. Okay, so here's the red, black, and white pair. And the only thing that I did different with these is I added the beads in the middle. And to do that, all you do is simply take a eye pin or pin with the flat head on it. And I had some little small spacer beads. And I put one here on the bottom. And then I took my white bead, and I chose a white bead because the line in the middle of this one is red, so I wanted something that would stand out against the red. And so then you just cut it. And take this particular tool, bend it here, and make a loop. And what I did, like when I put on my link here, I just applied it here, and then I put the ear clip on. I'm sorry, the little ear hoop. And that's how I did that. So there you are, guys. There's no limit to what you can do, what you can create. I'm thinking in my next few pairs will be animal print. I'll probably do a pair that's pink, black and white, black, brown, and white, black, brown, and beige, just different colors. I am going to have so much fun creating new earrings with plastic bottles. Actually, I already have a couple more bottles that I'm looking at, so stay tuned, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun coming up with this idea. This is something that I came up with my own. I hope you guys really do try this, and if you do, let me know. You can reach me here on YouTube, or you can reach me on Instagram, and you'll find that information below. You can find me on Facebook, and I'll put the information in the description box below, so please let me know, guys, if you like this and if you want more tutorials. Okay, look at what I found. I picked this pen up at Michael's some time ago, and it was $4. So they have a lot of different colors that you can choose from. Look at this though, it's perfect. It's big at the bottom and it tapers in, so perfect to use making these earrings. So if you don't want to have to do what I did earlier in the video, this is what you can do and it'll come out perfect. So this is what I'll use next time. Okay, I just want to throw that little bit in there. Thanks for watching, guys.